everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nokutula Khonye. If this is your first time tuning in this channel, a warm welcome and a huge welcome to the new subscribers, and thank you very much. Please do subscribe if you haven't, and like, comment and share these videos. So about today's video, I was going through my journal and I've just realized something, that there's a time for everything. I know we all know that, it seems so obvious, but there's definitely a time for everything. And about today's video, I want us to look into understanding the season and the time. Understanding the season and the time, and we'll be reading in the book of Mark. That's one of the scriptures that we'll be sharing. Mark chapter 4, it's verse 35. I'm reading from NLT. It says that as evening came, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's cross to the other side of the lake." So they took Jesus in the boat and started out, leaving the crowd behind. But soon fierce storm came up. High waves were breaking into the boat, and it began to fill with water. Jesus was sleeping at the back of the boat with his head on the cushion. The disciples woke him up, shouting, "Teacher, don't you care that we are going to drown?" When Jesus woke up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Silence, be still." Suddenly the wind stopped and there was a great calm. Then he asked them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" The disciples were absolutely terrified. "Who is this man?" they asked each other. "Even the wind and the waves obey him." Okay, so I was in a moment where I didn't know what to do. And when I prayed, I said, "Lord, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be. I don't know if I should pray. I don't know if I should fast. I don't know what to do." And it came to me that, there is time for everything. You have to understand the time and the season of everything. I once conducted a session at my church where we were talking about life, and in conclusion of that session I said, you know what, we have different seasons in our lives, and I know sometimes when we face seasons that are not favorable to us, it breaks us and sometimes we lose hope. And I made an example of a tree, that a tree, when it loses its leaves, it doesn't leave its position, it always stays there. It doesn't say, "There's too much wind here, I'm moving to that place," but it stays there throughout all seasons. And I think that's how we should also be, when it comes to our faith, that in all seasons we should keep our position and know what to do and understand the kind of season that you are at in your life, and to know what to do. Ungathi ngexesha where you're supposed to be praying, you are worshiping. Everything has its own season and time. When it's time of giving, when you fast. When you're supposed to fast, you are giving. So it requires us to pay much attention to the Spirit of God, to listen to what God is saying to us at that particular time. There are so many events, when where I could go to. It required different things, in order for you to pass whatever obstacle that you are facing. For example, when the Israelites were taken out of Egypt, they were facing the Egyptians at the back, and in front of them there was a Red Sea. And when they were terrified and they complained to Moses, Moses said to them, "Be still, be still. The Egyptians that you see today, you will no longer see them." All right. And then let's go to Gideon. Gideon, when Israelites were taken captive, I think so, or they were being attacked, the angel of God came and gave Gideon a message that says that, "Hamba ngalomandla unawo, go with the strength that you have." That was the victory of Israelites at that time. The victory of the Israelites in the time when they were being taken out of Egypt, it was for them to be still and to trust God. The time where they were being attacked and being held captive, it was for Gideon to use the strength that he had. When they were escaping, or when they were taken out of Egypt, the only thing that was required for them, it was for them to be still. And the time when Gideon was being entrusted with that task of conducting people that will go to the war, it required only the strength that he had. God was not asking of something that he didn't have, but he was using what he had in order to conquer the enemy. So it got me to think that how many times we have swapped the things. When we were supposed to be still, we didn't say anything. We said so many things. When we were supposed to say so many things, we kept quiet. We fought differently, or we fought with equipment that we were not supposed to fight with. When Jesus was busy with his ministry, there were different ways where he dealt with delivering people, praying for people. Remember the time where this man had a sick daughter, and he went to Jesus, and Jesus said, "Okay, I'm coming." And he said, "No, don't come. I'm not worthy to have you in my house, but say a word." And when Jesus said a word, the daughter was healed. There was a time where Jesus, when he met with the blind man, he didn't send a word to them and say that, "See," but he did, he touched their eyes, eqaba udaka in their eyes. That was a different approach. So I would like to believe that sometimes you really need to understand what is required of us to do at that particular time, at that season. Yonke into inesizini yayo. There's a time yokuhleka, kukho ixesha lokulila, kukho ixesha lokonwaba, kukho ixesha lokungonwabi. Everything has its own time, and when it's the season that is not favorable to you, it doesn't mean that God is limited to his ability to rescue you. No, but each and every season plays its role in your life. So what I'm trying to say is that keep your position. Listen to the voice of God attentively. Know what to do at that time. Do it right. Do it right. Remember when Paul had a thorn in his flesh, the Bible says that he pleaded 3 times, and it says that each time he was told that my grace is sufficient, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. So when we reach the stage of being weak, it doesn't mean that God cannot rescue us. It doesn't mean that we should not cry out to God when we reach to that. But what I'm trying to say is that when you are calm, try to understand, Lord, what season am I in? What it requires me to do? What strength do I need to use? What weapon do I need to use? That's what I wanted to share today. So going to this story, the Bible says that it was Jesus who said that, let us cross over to the other side. And he fell asleep. How many times we have felt as if Jesus is asleep? When we go through some seasons or some places where Jesus told us to go to, and in the middle of nowhere his voice disappears. You can't hear a thing. You're trying to pray, but you just can't hear a thing from him. But I want to assure you that he will never leave you nor forsake you. If he is the one that said, let us cross over to the other side, you will cross over to the other side. He never shares what is going to happen in between the journey, what's happening in between the journey. Remember when he said to the Israelites that I'm going to take you out from your slavery, and I'm going to deliver you to your promised land. But he never spoke of the wilderness. He never spoke of the struggle that they had along the way. But they did reach Canaan. So if he promised that you are going to cross over, you will cross over. You need to trust in him. And sometimes he keeps quiet. Trust that he will come through for you. He might not come through for you in the way that you expect him to come through, but he will never leave you nor forsake you. They went to the other side. They woke him up, and he rebuked the storm, and he silenced the wind. God, because he is a God that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, all that we can imagine. He will never leave nor forsake us. So what I'm trying to say is that let us keep our position. Let us understand the times and the seasons. Let us understand the time and the season. I hope this video did a thing or two. Until the next video, goodbye.